Hi, I'm Mike Lozier, inventor of the True Laser Track system for CanAm Spyders and Polaris slingshots. We're doing a Spyder today. First thing you got to do is center the handlebars. There's nothing on a Spyder that's square. You got to do it visually. So you stand behind the bike and visually look at the handlebars versus the dash, the gauges, and the mirrors.
Looks pretty centered to me.
Once you've got that, pop your caps off, your center cap on your wheel, apply your lasers, rotate the laser down, and we're going to measure the track width. This is 64 and 3/8. So you take 64, that's 64, yeah, 64 and 3/8, 0.375 minus 8, that's the rear rim width, get 56 and 3/8, divided by 2 equals 28 and 3/16. So you take that plus 0.250 because we want to put a little bit of toe in it. So we're going to set our targets at just under 28.5 off the rear rim.
Go to the back side, Mikey, so I can get up.
You got a good dimension.
28.5.
You like that?
That looks good.
All right.
Go to the back side, Mikey. Hold the tape so I can.
I like that. Okay, so we got 28.5 on each side. Slide my tape over. Now we're going to, handlebars are square.
Yep.
We're going to rotate the lasers up onto the targets and see where we're at.
I turn the laser off.
Okay, I noticed that.
Ooh, that's not good, guys. Not good.
Okay. The right front is 5/8 of an inch. That's half of the dimension, so it's 1.25 inches towed in on the right front.
Why am I surprised? I'm not.
And the left front is towed out 3.5 inches.
Whoa.
So it's like this.
Yeah.
If you want to look at the dimensions on this, you can see it's way, way off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to rotate our laser on the right front up and center it. Go ahead, Mike.
Why don't we figure the old toe?
Well, we can. All right, let's point them down. We'll do just like we did yesterday,
Yep.
Mikey.
Yep.
Rotate it down onto the scale on the floor. Let's see what the old toe is. Okay. Rear dimension is 64 and 5/8.
It's basically just barely over 64. I should already be set here, I think.
Just over 64. So it's only got a 1/2 inch of toe in it right now, toe in. The problem is with these, they got bumps here. When the rider gets on, the toe comes out of it. When the toe comes out, that makes them flighty. So we're going to square it to the rear wheel, and we're going to adjust the toe. We're going to put 1 inch of toe in it over 150 inches. Go ahead and square that one up, Mike.
All right.
Tell me what you're doing now.
We're centering the target. Centering the target.
The front targets.
Front targets. And this is because we're going to work on the left side and we want to keep a good reference point. So we're keeping this as a reference point so we can come back to what we need to.
The reason you put the center of the laser on the right front, even though the toe is way off, we're going to use that to keep the handlebars centered. As long as that stays on center, we know the handlebars are centered. When I go to move this one, it's going to affect that. I'm going to have to bump the tire back. What I'm doing now is backing the jam nuts off. On the tie rod, I'm going to adjust this side.
Centered right there.
You can see the laser get right there. Go ahead, bump it.
Yeah, I'm going to tweak it a little bit. Okay, centered.
Okay, we're centered back here. I'm just going to snug these up so it can't move.
Still good?
Yep. All I'm doing is holding the tie rod, and I've got a little stubby 18 and I'm putting inside here to get the inner tie rod and tighten it. Still good, Mikey? Yep.
Right there, centered
All right,
up.
we're centered,
Yes, sir.
centered. Now we've adjusted. We've got the right front is centered up and the left rear. So we're going to take the left side, rotate it up onto the front target, and center that. It's got to be over just a little bit. Good. Now we're going to go to the right side and adjust that. Good over there?
Hang on.
Good.
Centered. I like that. Centered, yes.
Good here.
I'm still good here.
Now, Mikey, explain how you get it back to center. You're bumping the tire?
Yeah, just bumping the tire one way or the other to keep it centered.
All right, let's see what we got for overall toe before I jam everything up. Put that on one, Michael.
Yes, sir. We're on one. Rotate to the back.
Okay, we got 66 and an 8.
Say it louder.
We got, whoa, we got way too much toe in it. We're gonna have to change our dimension. All right, let's go down. We gotta go. 6 and an 8. Let me double check my rear. That's 66. I'm gonna take an inch and a half out. I gotta change it half inch. Okay, so we're gonna take our rear targets and readjust them with the orange tape. I gotta get that on the right.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna take this down to, okay, let's go down to 28 and a quarter. Like that, 28 and a quarter. Let's do the same on the other side.
So explain what you're doing, Mike.
Sometimes when you adjust these, depending on how bad the toe was to start with, you take your track width dimension, you might end up with the wrong toe in it, overall toe. So before I locked everything up, I just checked the overall toe. It had too much. So what I'm doing is I'm shortening up my rear dimension evenly on each side, and then we'll reset our toe. Okay, slide that target in to a quarter. Bring it out a little bit, right there. Okay. Rotate your left front up onto the. Feel good over on the left front?
I sure am.
We're going to adjust our right side. What I'm going to do is take a little of this out. Help it, Michael. Okay.
Centered right there.
All right. Let me come over and move this side.
Now explain why it moves.
You're equidistant off the center line. If I move it in a 1/4 inch in the back, it's going to move out a 1/4 inch on the front. So we're just going to recenter our front target. We're not going to change our rear. Now we're going to go over to the other side and do that. Check our overall toe, then lock everything down. Let me just lock this so I don't move.
Mike, talk about the skid pads that are included in the cab.
Oh, it's just a little 12 by 6 piece of metal, aluminum. You can barely see it under the edge here. You want it, it's just less friction from the rubber to the concrete. When you can, turn it and pivot it on the aluminum, it just helps you center it and pivot a little bit better. It just makes it easier.
Just as concerning them front targets, coming back to center. Mike, just explain what you're doing.
I'm snugging the inside tie rod jam nut, which is pretty difficult to get at. A lot of guys will use a crow's foot to do it. I just stick my arm in there and use a stubby 18. As long as I don't come out with a bloody stump, I'm okay.
All right, everything's good on that. Centered.
So Mikey's Junior's rechecking the front targets, make sure everything is centered before we start on the next side.
Center right there.
Centered there. Okay, let's see what our overall toe is, Mike. We got
63 and 5/8 in the front.
All right, we're going to take some more toe out. Quite a bit.
Did you get a wrong calculation somewhere?
Could be.
Could be that rear rim.
Yeah. All right, let's
That-
take another 1/4 out. Okay.
It's underneath the pad, right there.
That's one thing that we did not do. They claim that it's an 8-inch wide rim. Well, we see 8 1/4, 8 1/2. It varies. If you don't check every rim.
You trust them, you missed the boat.
Yeah, we're.
Some of the aluminum's thicker than others.
Fat on the fat 8 side.
Yep.
It's a little fat, so that's going to throw your measurement off.
Oh, I thought you told me.
88.
All right, just explain what you're doing, Mike.
Tell taking some more. We had too much toe.
Keep that tape level too.
Before you lock everything down, you take and double check your overall toe dimension. Okay, that's good. And you just go back, readjust.